Hi there, you guys. Pop here. I guess you can't see me too well. Let me. I guess camera's too low. Well, hi. How y'all doing? So you're all stuck in the house. Still, no fun. Oh well. Yeah, I'm doing stuff around the house here. So I have a burned out light bulb, and I'm going to replace it. So let's show you that. Okay, well, there's the light bulb. Let me turn it on. Let's see what it looks like. Well, that's not so good. It looks like it's kind of lit, but not really. It's kind of dim. It is interesting looking though. It's got those little like lightsabers or something in there. But yeah, they're not lighting up all the way. So let me just turn this thing off and put a new light bulb in there and see how that works. There we go, light bulb's out. Now I'll put a new one in here. There we go. Whoops, not quite right. There we go. That's better. Okay, the new light bulb is in. Ta-da! Let's turn the light on and see if it works. Yay! Ta-da! Oops, pretty bright. I think it works. All right, well that problem is solved. Okay, so what do we do with this old light bulb? Yeah, let's see. There's no, I don't see any recycling on here. Looks like it's just a regular old in the trasher. Let's pitch it. See you later, light bulb. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. We can do something else with that light bulb. All right. Yuck. I don't know what that is. That looks scary. That looks pretty bad. Ooh. Yikes! There's a light bulb. This light bulb just looks too interesting to throw in the trash. It just looks pretty cool. Look at the parts inside. It's got these, orange things in there, and it's got the little holes, and it looks like there must be some more good stuff inside there. So, since it isn't any good anymore, why don't we just take it apart and see what's inside? I think that's the plan. Let's give it a try. All right. A few more options here. We have a saw, and this looks pretty good. It has a nice fine tooth on the blade, so that'll probably cut well. We have this power saw, and that has a fine tooth also. It's a vibratory saw. Makes a lot of noise, but it will be fun to try. And we have this rotary cutter, and that would be neat to see how that does too. Maybe we'll have to try these two tools outside, and we'll try the saw inside. Let's see which one works better. We'll just make a small cut and see which ones we like, and then cut it the rest of the way with whatever tool we think is the best one to use. So I'll get set up now for the saw. That's the first thing. Let's see. Let's give this saw a try. Well, it looks like it's cutting somewhat. Yeah. It's kind of cutting in there. Now you can see the dust coming off when I cut it. I think that's about as far as I want to go. That looks pretty good. It kind of cuts, but it's a straight line. It goes right across there. I don't know if you can see very well. But then we would kind of like to cut it right around the circle if we could. That would be kind of nice. You might just have to have jagged lines. But anyway, so that's a start. That kind of cuts okay. Okay, we're outside now. Had to go outside to do this one because this is kind of noisy and it makes a lot of dust. So anyway, Here's the saw that we're going to use, and this is a vibratory saw. What happens with this saw is this little blade zips back and forth very quickly. Back and forth, makes all kinds of racket, right? Anyway, it's just like a regular saw, except instead of you having to push the saw blade back and forth, the motor in the saw runs that blade back and forth. So I'm going to try this out on a piece of wood and show you how it works. Cover your ears! Okay, this time I have the light bulb in the little workbench here. And I've got the saw ready, and I have my hearing protection on, and I have my eye protection on, and this should be really cool to try. Let's see what happens. Boy, it cut right through. Looks pretty good. That was very fast. So that's kind of nice. Alright, so we'll try the next tool. We'll try the rotary cutter and see how that works next. Well, hi there you all. It's a whole nother day out here. Nice and sunny out, a brand new day. A few days later, not as much rain. So we're outside, and I'm going to use the rotary cutter, which is also called the Dremel tool, to see if we can cut that clear plastic top off of the light bulb. So here we go. Let's give it a shot. And again, when you do this kind of thing, you have to wear safety glasses, right? Okay, let's give this a try, see what happens. Cutting pretty well. That's pretty good. Uh-oh, it's almost off. It's almost off. This is crazy. Look at that, it's almost off. Just a little bit more. Wow. I think that'll do it. I think that's going to do it. Let's see what happens. Ta-da! Ta-da-da-da. There it goes. Crazy, man. Look at this thing. Very interesting. Again, it looks as though to get down inside to see what's in here, if anything, we're going to have to cut this white part off too. So I'll probably use the same tool because that seems to be working pretty well. I'll just have to be very careful. You can even hold an old light bulb. pretty snug. Hopefully it won't get loose. All right. Okay, we're going to start cutting this apart. See how it works. See what happens here. All right, let's get the saw out. The rotary cutter. That's interesting. Hey, I can just make it go around in a circle. Let's turn up the juice here. Make it run a little faster. Okay, let's see here. What happens when I try to lift this thing up? I see a lot of parts coming out here. Any easier way? We'll take the back apart here. Oh, look at all that interesting stuff. Look, I see some like connectors and stuff like that inside. It looks like these things actually pull out. They don't want to pull out though. They don't want to pull out. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just going to pull these up. Point. There we go. I hope you can still see that. Okay. Remember, we took this little piece off. It was sitting over top of those 4 little pieces. So anyway, so we popped this thing off. And lo and behold, we have more stuff underneath. And I see 2 screws. There's one screw right here. Beep, 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 right here. A little one here. And it's a Phillips screw, which means it has that little cross on the end of it. And there's one on just the opposite side too. So I'm not going to show you that one because I'll just have to loosen it from the vise, and you know what it looks like. Anyway, okay, so I've got to get a Phillips screwdriver to take the screw out. But what size Phillips screwdriver should I get? So this is a pretty small one. Let me see if I can zoom in a little closer on that. There's a whole bunch of really, really small Phillips screwdrivers here. I hope it's still in focus. Yikes. Okay, there's that one there, and there's that one there, and there's that one there, and there's a real teeny one right there. So, okay. Anyway, I need to get the right size, because if you don't use the right size when you try to unscrew a Phillips screwdriver, or unscrew a Phillips screw, it ends up skipping, or it ends up damaging the screw, and then long term it can start damaging screwdrivers too. So what you want to do is make sure you get the right one that fits. Let me see here. I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to start off with this one, this Phillips screwdriver, which is a P0 screwdriver. P0, right there. The next size up is a P1. I don't know if you see that P1 right there. P1 screwdriver. And here's a P2 screwdriver. This is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They keep getting bigger. Okay, so that first one, again, that was a P0 screwdriver. And this one, on the back of the handle, because this is such a small one. Let me see if I can get it in the camera, right? It's a 00 screwdriver, a P00. So that's even smaller. So we're going to start with the P1, or P0, and see if that works. Okay. You know what? It kind of goes in the screw, but as I'm turning it, it's skipping. So I'm not getting a very good grip on that. It should be better than that. So I'm going to go one size up. I'm going to go to a P1 screwdriver. See what happens. That's a great fit. It goes right in there, and I put a little pressure on it. It just wants to take the screw out. And here it goes. Here goes one. Yeehaw! Alright, I'm going to take the back one out too. You can't see that. Sorry, same thing. Alright, let's get this thing going. Let's get this operation running here. Okay, let's take the screw out. Whoa, whoa, hey, look at this thing. It's all starting to fall apart. Whoa! Oh no! Oh my gosh, what's going on now? This ring came off. And this ring appears to have a bunch of connectors and stuff on it. Whoa! Everything's falling apart now. Okay, let's see here. It's still in the field of view? Nope, not at all. There we go. Okay. This appears to be like a power distribution ring. There's a big connector over here, this big thing there, and that's where the power comes in to the 4 LEDs. And then it travels along a little conductor on the outside of the ring, and it goes to this little connector here, and that connector connects up to one of these little lightsabers over here, and then it comes back out of the LED, and then it travels around the ring there on that conductor. And then it goes up. There's a break right in the top of that, so it goes up into the next lightsaber. I shouldn't call them lightsabers, they're LED arrays. And then it goes around the ring again. Whoa, whoa, I'm losing my view here. And then it goes up that one, and then it goes around the ring again, and then it goes up that one, it comes back down, and then it returns on that other connector. And there you go, that's how they're illuminated. I wonder if I could go through and connect up one of these little LED orange thingies to a little power supply, a little DC power supply, and light them up. I might have to try that. Okay, so let's see. We'll keep going here, and let's take this thing apart further. Let's take the LEDs out. Yikes. Yeah, there we go. Hey, pull right out. Bonk, that one was pretty easy. Come on. Boy, that's a tough one. How about this one? Nope. Man, oh man, what the heck is going on here? Well, two of this came out pretty easily. Come on now. Got turkey. Ah, there we go. Got another one out. Okay. Yikes. Come on. Yeah, brother. Alright, you turkey. Let's see. We're gonna get a little screwdriver here. And we're gonna pry it back behind, and I'll tell you why these things are stuck. Ah, there we go. Got it. Good thing I didn't stab myself, huh? Not a good time to go to the hospital. Okay. Anyways, there we go. We got them out. So these are kind of interesting, huh? Let's see. Make sure we get it in the field of view again. I think the towels are done. Oh, brother. I'm gonna have to get the towels out of the dryer. Okay, so this is an LED array. There's a whole bunch of little LEDs inside here. And if you notice, you look on the back, it's kind of shiny. That's aluminum. So they put these LEDs on aluminum. And you see that white stuff down at the end of that? That's a thermal compound. What's a thermal compound? Well, what that's used for is to take the heat away from the LEDs and put it into another piece of metal somewhere so that the LEDs don't burn up and helps the LED life. So anyway, so each of those have thermal compound on them. Some have a little more than others. And you know, it could be one of the reasons why it failed. It could be that maybe one of these LEDs burned out, and since they're all connected in series, when one goes, the whole bunch goes. It's kind of like your Christmas lights. When you have two or three bulbs burn out and then the whole string goes. Yep. Well, that's kind of what happened here. So anyway, this thermal compound is interesting stuff. So it's like a white paste, and they put it on there, and then they mount it to the heat sink. So what's the heat sink? Well, look at this thing. It's a big chunk of metal in here. See that thing? That absorbs a lot of heat. I don't know if you can, how well can you see that? Let me see, zoom in just a little bit. There, ooh, whoa, whoa, blurry. Okay, there you go. That's a big hunk, that's a little hunk of metal. It's not a big hunk of metal, it's a little hunk of metal, but it's solid, and it takes up a lot of heat from those little LED arrays. And it's kind of interesting. One was in there really well, but the other three were not all that well connected thermally to draw the heat away from the LEDs. So okay, so I think the next step is to take that heat sink out and see what's underneath. How about that? Let's give it a try. I don't need a Phillips screwdriver. Don't need Phillips screwdriver. Let me see. What do we get? Whoa! All right, we got to find some tools here. What do we need? How about how about, okay, I'm just gonna get a small teeny weeny little jeweler screwdriver. We're gonna try to pry this heatsink out and see what happens. I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot. Okay, alrighty. This is not looking too exciting. You know what it looks like? It looks like that piece of metal is cast right into the plastic. It's in there pretty darn hard. Let's see what else is going on inside here. I can see some goodies down inside there, some interesting stuff. Let's see, get it more in the light for you all to see. I don't know if you can see, right down inside here, you can see those two silver connectors. These are two, let me see. Light's in the wrong place. Okay, all right. So there are two silver connectors here, and that's what connected up to our little ring that connected up the power to the LEDs. So, but what those two connectors are on a little miniature circuit board. It goes down inside here. Well, we can't let that go without taking it apart. We got to find out what's inside. So let's see what's going on here. See, maybe I can pry this off of the plastic piece here. Yikes! Now what are we gonna do? This is gonna be a little dangerous. I think I'm gonna have to put some eye protection on again. I think I better get the towels because I think the dryer's beeping again. Bye. Be right back. Let's get the towels. Okay. All right here. Oh my gosh, look at all these towels. It's gonna take me days to fold all these towels. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, time to take a little snooze. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, back from folding towels. Alrighty then. Let's see. We're gonna try to take this metal top part off from the plastic piece. I think that's probably gonna be the best way to get inside. But I see a lot of hazards there. This is good for eye protection. So let's see what happens. Okay, back with eye protection. And we've got St. Joseph here too. St. Joseph can give us a hand, watching over us, huh? And praying for us. All right, St. Joseph. Let's see, what are we gonna do here? Screwdriver. I'm gonna get a small screwdriver. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely an opportunity to hurt yourself. Yeah, be careful when you do this kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna get a hammer. Okay, so I'm gonna get a hammer, and I'm going to gently tap at this thing just a little bit and see what happens. Because the screwdriver is really not meant to be used as a chisel, but I sure as heck don't want to push it with my hands, because that's... Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. Yep, okay. I'm gonna stick it right between the metal part. Oops, it's shaking. That's no good. Arrgh. Okay, so that's not gonna work like that. We gotta find a better way of doing this. There's gotta be a better way. I can do this. I don't want to damage things too much. And be able to see what's going on inside. Okay. This will let me pry the metal back. You know, the other thing I can do too, hey, I could get the Dremel tool again and cut through that metal. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll get the tool out, the Dremel tool, and cut through the metal. And I'm going to take this outside again. Hold on. Alright, well, you know, so I'm being a little lazy here. I didn't take the camera outside to show you what I did. But I got the Dremel tool, the rotary cutter, And I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me look up at the camera again. I'm going to zoom in. Boom, there you go. You can see that pretty well. Got that rotary cutter, and I just cut a slit all the way down that base on both sides. All the way around like that. It didn't take long at all. That rotary cutter is magical, I'll tell you. So alright, so now the trick is I'm just going to get a screwdriver and I'm going to stick it in there between the metal and I'm going to pry it apart and let's see what happens. I'm hoping it'll all just kind of come apart. And we'll get to see the good stuff inside. The rest of the parts. Let me see here. Alright. Whoop. Yeah, it's like pretty darn flimsy. Okay, Tom. We'll see how long this holds up. Alright, I'm going to start prying things apart here. This is the exciting part. Come on, get in there. Ooh, look at that. Yep. Yipper. Yip-o-matic. Look at this. This is exciting. Yeah, it's exciting to some people. I'm a little bit weird like that. It's coming apart pretty nicely. Look at that. Hey, that's super. But you know what? There's a little something in there holding that thing on. Let go. Let go. I don't want to pull too hard. I'm going to see. We'll just keep pulling gently. See if we can see what's inside. Peekaboo. What's going on? Ah, that's interesting. Ah, okay. It's getting more interesting. Things are falling apart now. Whoa, so there's a couple of wires way up inside the cap. Bring it up closer to you here, and you can see it. Here we go. All the parts are falling out now. And there you go. Look at that. So we can kind of see what's going on inside here. Maybe with the light, you can see the bottom part of the heat sink down there. You know, we're looking at it from the top before. That's a pretty good sized chunk of metal right there. And here's the other part. Okay. Alright, we'll put that off to the side. That was fun. Now, look at this thing. Oh my goodness. There's all kinds of interesting... Look at all the parts in here, for crying out loud. That's just amazing. There's an integrated circuit in there. You can see right here is an integrated circuit. I see. Boy, look at that. Here's a bridge rectifier over here, it looks like. That turns the AC that comes out of your wall into DC power. Direct alternating current into direct current. There's a bunch of resistors on the back of that printed circuit board. Oops, sorry, keep drifting out of the way. That's just amazing. Got a couple of good size electrolytic capacitors here. A little teeny transformer, or a choke. Some more resistors. These little guys here, these little teeny weeny little black things. Oh, I wish I can get it closer. Oh, it's about as close as I can get. I guess it will go out of focus, right? Ooh, it's still in focus. Look at that. Those are little resistors. Those little black rectangular things with the silver ends, the silver tips, those are resistors. These things here, these little round things with the little funny crosses on the top, those are electrolytic capacitors. And there's a little transformer. And here's some, move this thing out of the way. These are capacitors. That looks like an inductor, actually. This is a little round thing. But boy, it's got all kinds of parts. So you know what's interesting about this? There are lots of parts in here to go bad when something like this fails. You just never know what part went bad. So, you know, there's all kinds of goodies. But what's amazing is they can make these things. They can manufacture these things. And I think this light bulb cost me about $3. But look at all the parts that are in there. And all those little parts had to be soldered on there. And all those little parts had to work when they turn the light bulb on. And that's just pretty darn cool. That's some pretty neat stuff. So we learned some things. I always like to take stuff apart. Oh, look at that. You can see the numbers on the capacitor there. Almost. Can you? Yikes. This is something... Boy, it's hard to read. Looks like it's something microfarad, 250 volts. Oh boy, 250 volts. Looks like there's no voltage on that thing, huh? Okay. I want to show you what a regular light bulbs, the old-fashioned light bulbs look like. Hold on. All right. So while it would be really fun to go through and get a hammer and break a light bulb, that would just be a cool thing to do. I don't think I'm in the mood to break any glass light bulbs today. We won't do that. I don't know if you can see it, but there are those two big thick wires that come up. Well, that's where the electricity comes in. And then it connects up to that little itty bitty skinny wire there that's going through the small hoops. You can see that? And that's about all there is to a light bulb. What happens is that the little skinny wire is called the filament. And when electricity gets up to the filament just glows real hot. And when it glows, it creates light, right? It gets hot and glows and creates light. So anyway, what's interesting about that though is that these use a whole lot more power. They use a lot more electricity than all this stuff. Surprisingly enough, this is not as efficient as something like this with all these electronic components and these little LED rods. Hi guys, hope you had fun. It was neat learning a little bit about some stuff, right? Instead of just throwing it away, we were able to take it apart and see what was inside, and that's kind of a neat thing because you learn without costing you any money, and as long as you're careful and you keep all your fingers and toes, right, you can do this and keep your eye protection on. So anyway, we'll see you later. Bye.